right, y'all. I have been wanting to do some type of podcast situation because I just have so much to say. And I actually think I have a lot of wisdom to give. And my experiences really, they touch people around me. So I figured, like, if I can touch people around me at the level I do, then I can touch other people, elsewhere, or they can learn from my experiences. Because I done been through some shit, especially the last 15 years, right? So I just couldn't figure out what style. Like, I didn't feel comfy in other people's settings. I didn't feel safe in other people's settings. And the level of safety that I need to talk about the things I need to talk about is very high. So that's kind of been like my thing of like, but I don't want it to just be me because I want to play off people. I don't want it to just be my opinion. I want people to challenge my thoughts. But I just couldn't find partners, who I really felt like I could do that with. And the people that I felt like I could do that with weren't really reliable. And I didn't want to build a show around, something that wasn't going to be consistent. So basically the only thing that's consistent is me and my car. My car is my favorite place. I love being in here. It's warm. It's comfy. I get to sit in whatever position I want to. Like, I love being comfy. And like, I went to a podcast interview a couple weeks ago, and I just didn't feel comfy, like I felt like I had to sit a certain way and I had to be a certain way. And it was like the flashing lights, and I felt like I couldn't curse, which is not me. I curse. And so it was just like, I realized like I need the right setting to even feel comfortable enough in my body to then be comfortable enough in my truth. So, Front Seat Therapy. That's the name of my podcast. Front Seat Therapy. Shout out ChatGPT. It be getting me through it, honey. I love ChatGPT. I don't use it for everything, but when it comes to trying to get my thoughts out and make sense, I just be talking to ChatGPT. This is what I'm thinking. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm struggling with. What is the solution? Help me out. And it talked back. So Front Seat Therapy is the name of my podcast. Welcome. Episode 1 is just going to be kind of a get to know me. I am going to start off by saying that I have ADHD, OCD, and anxiety disorder. I am a mother of 2 boys, 10 and 5. You see the 5-year-old all the time because he is here in the state with me. My 10-year-old is cross states between me and my ex-husband. So you see him a little bit more sparingly. You don't even really see my 5-year-old that often. I'm still trying to get comfortable with posting them because every time I post them and y'all say something crazy, the Detroit girl in me just wants to leap out at y'all asses. So I'm trying to get a little bit, because he's talking more now, guys. Oh my gosh, he's talking so much. And it's just like, as a mom of a special needs child, my son has 3 tumors, 2 in his brain, 1 in his spine, my youngest 5-year-old. It was so hard to understand him for so long, or it's hard to be the only one who can understand him. And now that he's really, like, speech therapy is really helping, occupational therapy is really helping. So it's just so beautiful to see that, and it's making me want to share it with people. Like, I want people to see his growth, just like I want to see my growth. And that's what I love about recording my thoughts, is I get to see how they kind of morph over time. I am in school. I'm getting my bachelor's in psychology. I'm supposed to be done this semester. It has taken me 6 years to do 2 semesters of school, because that's how much shit I have, like, y'all will find out. It's a situation, but because of all the things that I've been through over the last 15 years, I feel like I just have such a different perspective on the world. A lot of people, when they meet me and they actually get to talking to me, they're like, yo, you're different. Like, okay, I wouldn't have expected that from you. I'm very much so a cliffhanger for a lot of people, because it's like, oh, okay, I wouldn't have pegged you for that. Yeah, because a lot of y'all ain't smart enough to peg me, okay? But no, let's see. I grew up a pastor's kid. I was a pastor's kid my entire life. My dad literally, that's all he did for work ever. I don't remember my dad ever having a job outside of being a pastor. My mom had different jobs, but for the most part, she was just a pastor. So I very much so have that ingrained in me to an extent. My parents got divorced when I was 20 something, but they started like kind of the separation process when I got out of high school. And so if you have ever been in a situation where you've been a PK, especially of like a prominent church, you know that it's damn near like the black people or the Christian people version of like the president's daughter. Like, you get held to this supreme standard. Everyone around you pretends that they are at this certain standard, but as a PK, you see all of it. You know, you see all the behind the scenes, you see all the grimy, you see how people move, and then you see how people abandon. And so that's shaped a lot of my life going into my adulthood, which I'll kind of expound on in other episodes. But it's definitely made me different in my thinking. And then just going through life, dealing with being raped, dealing with being married to a man who met me when I was 16. He was 7 years older than me. Dealing with divorce, dealing with custody battles and domestic violence, and dealing with health issues and almost dying and car accidents and semi-trucks, and like dealing with all those things have very much so shaped me into this amazing human being. And I don't say that lightly, because I am not a cocky person. I'm a very humble person, but I truly, after years of hearing people tell me how amazing I am, I'm finally starting to believe it. So y'all gonna hear me toot my horn a little bit, because most of my 34 years I have never done so. Trying not to get emotional. So those are things about me. But like I said, I'm in school. I am getting my psych degree. I'm trying to go all the way to my PhD, honey. All the way there. Because the more degrees, the better you get to schedule your own time, especially in the psych field. I want to work from home so that I can grow my business and do psychology. I'm very, very passionate about it, so I can have both in one. My business is I create content for companies, businesses, personas, influencers, anybody. I do BTS videography, so I go to the behind the scenes. I pull that camera out, baby, and I get every moment that you ever thought you wanted, and all the ones you didn't even know you needed. Like, that's my specialty. Is the psychology kind of helps with that, actually, which is kind of funny, because I read moments before they happen. I can feel a moment growing, and I know, whoop, pull it out. Like, sometimes I actually think I'm psychic. Like, whatever I don't know why I can't sit without that scrunching up. Whatever the non-movie version of psychic is, I feel like it's me, because I just have this like supernatural ability to know when something's coming. My best friend hates it. She hates it because she'll tell me a story, and I can tell she be buttering me up for a story she gonna tell me in 3 days. Or we'll be out and about, and I can tell her the moment that she decided that someone was gonna be hers, and she'll be like, I wasn't even thinking about him at that time. Like, bitch, you know damn well I saw it in your eyes that night. I just didn't say nothing. But I just know people. I know people to a T, and it does not take long for me to know people. So that's kind of my superpower. It's the reason why I have friendships that have lasted as long as they have. I have supreme patience. I give grace out of this world. And it's my least favorite thing about me, but honestly also my favorite thing about me. My boys are my world. being a mom has not been easy. I didn't get the easy mom life. I didn't get the things that I think a lot of moms take for granted. Some people aren't allowed that. Having your kids with you every single day, it's exhausting, I'm sure, I know. But when you can't, it hits a little different. And that shit's took me years. I had to kind of numb myself a little bit. So I've never really been able to fully, let me see, the first couple years of PJ's life when me and his dad were together, and then even a little bit after we were separated because I was still in the same state as him, it was like I got to be a mom all the time. Once I had to move states because Illinois was just too expensive, and being a single mom is hard enough without having to live in a ridiculous, if you've lived in Chicago, you know. Once you live in a different state from your kid, no matter whether you have them for the school year or you only get them for, their school breaks, whatever, you still have to go huge chunks of time without seeing them. And if you add in there custody battles and animosity and evil and all those things, you go even bigger chunks of time without seeing them. And a part of you, as a mom, I don't know if y'all know this, your brain actually changes so that you can feel connected to and have like that feeling we have to where we don't want to be away from our babies, that feeling we have to where we would take a moving car, and our brain actually changes when we're pregnant. And that is the reason why women are not the same as men. That's the reason why men don't necessarily bond immediately with their kids, because our bodies literally change our brain to connect to that child. And when you have to go huge chunks of time without that child that your brain literally transformed for, it breaks a part of you. Like a part of your heart breaks. And mine is broken on several occasions to the point where I had to numb myself a little bit so that I could continue moving and functioning and feeling, because I have two boys, and the 5-year-old I have, his dad and I, we do 50-50 here in the state. And so I see him every day of the week, every day, except maybe I think every other Saturday I don't see him. Yeah, that's it. So having him started healing pieces of me. Having him allowed me to feel a part of my motherhood that I had not been able to feel, I had not been able to feel since I had got divorced. And it's still not completely healed, obviously, because I'm still missing one of my pieces a chunk of time throughout the year, So, but I had to numb that part a little bit because it hurt too much. And I think as moms, there's a lot of moms in my life, a lot of moms in the world that take that for granted. And honestly, because you take that for granted, you don't see how much some of these dads are hurting. And I'm speaking to a select few women, because a lot of you dads have not put the effort in to even try to be in your kid's life. But the chunk of dads that I have seen who are in court, who are literally fighting for their lives every single day to be in their babies' lives, and there's these bitter women on the other side who are angry and mad because the man chose different for himself, because he didn't choose you. You women do exist. I do not think it is a huge proportion of you, but you do exist, and I know you exist because I know the men, right? And I've seen it, and I've seen it with my own eyeballs. I've seen the messages, I've seen the text, I've seen from the moment y'all met each other to the moment you started making that man live a hell. I've seen all of it. So I know that those women exist. I know you are not in plenty, but you do exist. A lot of times women can't understand the pain they are causing when they switch it up on the dad, because you've never had to live in a world where it wasn't an automatic that you had your kid. It wasn't an automatic that if you wanted them with you every day, then that's what was going to happen. Because most of y'all had babies out of wedlock. And I don't know who knows this, but like when you have a baby through marriage, that dad gets the exact same rights as you. Same rights. Yes, baby. Yep, I'm coming. Give me 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Yeah. Go tell Alexa. 10 minutes. Close the door. Yeah. Okay. He's being so patient for me while I'm doing this. But what was I saying? There are times when men and women get divorced, and if that man really wants his kids, you got to be breastfeeding that baby for them not to be like, you know what I mean? And that's good. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But I think a lot of women take it for granted and truly believe that they are more important than the father, because we live in a world where most of us have had children out of wedlock, and therefore the fathers don't really have any rights, because some of them didn't show up to the birth, didn't put your name on that line, right? Outside of that, you did put your name on that line, but because she's the mom, the kid's been with her majority of the time. One thing about courts, they like to keep kids where they've been. So if you wait 3 years to decide to take a woman to court to get your rights and to get your kids, you're not likely going to get 50-50 unless she is for it. Because the courts want the kids where they've been. They'll give you time. They'll give you weekends, every other weekend. But the odds of them giving you 50-50 as time goes by gets lower and lower and lower and lower. And I speak this from experience. So, wait a little while, see if you guys can figure it out as a unit. Me and my youngest child's father did not include the courts, and I will never. If I don't have to, I will never. Because once the courts are involved, you're parenting with them. It's not they're going to give it all to me and I get to make all the decisions. No, even the parent who has the majority of the time still has to run certain decisions past court. You don't just get to move. You have to get court's permission to leave the state. And if they say no, then you either have to leave your kid or you have to stay. Don't include the courts if you don't have to. But if it is clear that this woman or this man, let's just throw it out there, both sides. If it is clear and you have given the time and you have put in the work, and it's like, no, they're not going to work with me. They're too hung up on whatever it is that they feel I've done to them, that they can't put the child first. And once you realize somebody can't put the child first, that is when you have to include the court. But don't let too much time pass by, because they really lean on that. Well, what is the child used to? They do. Now, they will change things up so that they can include both parents, but they're only going to change it up so much, I guess is my point. And I know this because I have represented myself as a lawyer. I have filed so many documents. I have written up so many orders, and honey, I'm damned. I should be somebody's legal secretary right now. And I did get a legal secretary certificate like 10 years ago. But I know everything there is to know about family court at this point. So if you need any tips, please, man or woman, I will help in any way I can. And so, but yeah, that's why I want this platform. That's why I have this podcast, is because every part of my journey has taken me somewhere where I got to experience something that a lot of people have never experienced. And it was very harmful. It was very painful. It resulted in a lot of trauma that I had to do the work for, and I'm still doing the work for on a daily basis. But it shaped me into a really well-adjusted person who can truly feel empathy, so that's a big part of why I wanted to do this podcast. And then let me see what else get to know. I have been raped before. I have been in a domestic violence relationship before. I have lived outside of the state. A lot of y'all have never lived out the state. That's so crazy to me. But that shapes your views a lot, living living somewhere else. It shapes a lot about how you view the world. So I really suggest that people live out of state, at least for a couple years in their life. Don't stay in the same place, in the same town, experience the world. You can live in one place, but at least travel. At least go see somewhere for longer than 2 weeks. You know what I mean? I think it's really important. But my parents, we took us all over the country growing up. Never out of the country, but pretty much all the different states. I've seen so many different places. I've experienced so many different types of people. I am mixed race. I am Black. I'm a Black American. I am an African American. I know y'all like to, we're not African Americans. You can be whatever you want to be. In this time, day and age, you can be anything you want to be. But as for me, in my Black ass, I am an African American. I am Polish. My grandmother is 100% Polish on my mother's side. There's some Native American in there. My sister did a DNA test. We got a lot of shit in us. But I am a Black woman, first and foremost. Like I said, I have 2 kids. What else haven't I said? Oh, I bartend. That is what I do. Like 4 to 5 days a week, I bartend. The other days I do my content business on the side. I live with my mom and my stepdad. It's just so much easier when you have a special needs kid to have in-house help. But I'm really trying to find a place soon because I need the privacy and I just need the solitude sometimes, you know? But it's super helpful for right now. Let's see, what else about me? I am single and very happily so. I've not been in a relationship since, let's see. All right. I have not been in a relationship since 2022 sometime in there. I've been doing the inner work, getting to know myself. I made a lot of decisions because of a lack of self-worth and a lack of self-love. So I did the work. And now nobody has ever loved me better than me. Tell you that. And I choose peace always. That is my thing. I will always choose peace. I'll expound on all those things in different episodes, but I'm really trying not to get off track because I will do that. What else about me? I am spiritual. I don't think I would consider myself a Christian anymore just because I don't know if I can live in a world that makes as little sense as this world makes and actually believe anything that a white man wrote. So I just choose not to necessarily pick a denomination or anything like that because it's all man-made, right? I do believe in God. I do believe he exists. I don't know if his name is God or if it's Jehovah or if it's Muhammad or whatever, but I know he exists and I know he talks to me. That's all I can really trust because the church just like betrayed my trust so bad. And then the world betrays my trust so bad. And then people like Trump are president and governments, you know, they kidnap other presidents and they kidnap kids and they throw people into containment. So I just don't necessarily trust enough to say what I believe and like to put a title on it, you know, because it comes with responsibilities that I don't personally believe in. Being a Christian comes with promises that I have to make to this religion that I don't necessarily feel comfortable making. But I do believe in God. That much I know. So that's a, really important thing about me. I am not necessarily monogamous or anything. I can do monogamy. I can do polyamory. I can do a host of different things. There are things that I will never do because I am not built to do them. But I don't really put myself in a box when it comes to that. I have fibromyalgia, I have ADHD, OCD, and an extreme anxiety disorder. And I have had that ever since I was a kid. Trauma made it worse. Getting raped made it worse. Domestic violence made it worse. Trauma from divorce made it worse. Semi-truck accidents made it worse. Sepsis made it worse. A lot of things made my predisposition for anxiety 10 times worse. So there is a certain level of understanding I have to have in a partner. I have not met that person yet, and I don't want to limit myself with who I can meet based on putting myself in a box. That's that. I'll expound on that in other episodes. That's all I could think of right now as far as I am an avid gardener. I appreciate flower. I appreciate how it grows out the ground. I appreciate how you guys dehydrate it and do whatever you do to it in those buildings with the bright ass lights. I truly appreciate it. I believe God gave that to us because he knew how trifling you humans are. So I partake. And I believe that not everybody should partake. It's not built for everybody. But also I believe that maybe you just tried the wrong strain. You know, I'm that person like, did you try everything? Have you tried each strain? Well, which strain did you use? That's me. That's me, because I really truly fully believe that it's a healing power if you use it the correct way. I will wrap it up with that because my kid has opened the door 3 times. And he doesn't want anything, just somebody to watch him. That's what he said. I want you to watch me. So I'm going to go watch my kid. That wraps up my first show of Front Seat Therapy. Bingo! I need a saying. I need like a theme song. We need a Front Seat Therapy theme song. What should our theme song be?
Waters here before the sun. Yes, you are. Lift your head, sis. Everything you've been through is less than a fragment of who you truly are. Before the stars knew light, you were dancing in the dark. Before the earth had breath, you were the beat of her heart. Warm of the cosmos, keeper of flame. You walk like thunder, whisper your name. Let me remind you who created you. The breath of all existence runs through you. No mirror can hold your truth. You're the God and the root, the bloom too. You are divine, oh yes, you are sacred flame, you came from stars. You are divine, remember who you are. They forgot, but you've been fire from the start.
Welcome to Front Seat Therapy. I like it. Yep. That's how we're starting these, with a nice little jam. Okay?